Welcome everyone to Old Roommates. Today on the show, we are revisiting the 1973 classic cartoon, Charlotte's Web. So grab your favorite farm animal, pull up a chair, and listen in as we revisit this childhood classic.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Old Roommates, the only podcast that revisits pop culture through a
Sorry, that was my foot.
Oh my God. Through a middle-aged lens. This is Brian.
And this is Christina.
And today we are discussing Charlotte's Web, 1973. We begin, as we always do, by talking about then, Christina, I am dying to know, when was the first time you watched Charlotte's Web?
Well, I don't know the first time, but I know as a child, this is one of those shows that would come on TV, and it was a family event. We've talked about this a lot with Christmas movies in our Christmas episodes of The Grinch and Rudolph and all those. But this was very similar, where I feel like they showed it like once a year. It seems like an annual event where they would put Charlotte's Web on, and it was a big event. We all loved it. We would get ready for it. We'd sit cross-legged 5 feet from the TV and just enjoy this movie. And I loved it as a child. My family loved it. It was a family event. And I really enjoyed it. There's so many parts that I just remember clearly of him getting a bath and all of these these different, this Templeton and the carnival scene and all of these things that bring back such wonderful, wonderful memories of my childhood. And I adored this movie. What about you, Brian?
It's pretty similar. I remember really loving this as a kid, and just. Yeah, Charlotte. I remember really loving Charlotte as a character.
You loved Charlotte? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know if you said I didn't really.
Oh, I loved Charlotte. I loved her calmness. I do remember being quite sad at this special's obsession with death. And Templeton I loved, and for some reason I really liked Templeton, and the paullynde.
He was the best character of the whole thing.
Yeah. Just great.
1,000%.
Just great.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you mentioned the bath. I remember a lot of Templeton and the garbage and eating garbage. And,
he made it look so good.
I know. And rolling down in the can. I remember specific things so well.
Just shoving the food in his mouth. Yeah, but getting so fat.
Yes, but I was a total fan. I loved this as a little kid. I mean, of course, like you're saying, I don't remember the first time I watched it, but I remember watching it several times.
Oh yeah, I watched it a lot as a child.
Yeah. So now, when did you rewatch it?
I rewatched it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And actually, it was maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I was very much looking forward to watching this. I was supposed to watch it with the whole family, and of course, nobody can get together to watch this stupid half-hour show. Oh, whatever. It was an hour and a half?
Yeah.
So I ended up watching it alone while I was doing some, a project. But I really enjoyed it again. So it was amazing to me the amount of times that I've watched it, how many things I've kind of forgot about. I don't know if this happened to you. It's been quite a while since I've seen this movie.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't even think this is a movie that I watched with Emily.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these shows, it's I watched it when she was a kid. That was 10 years ago. But I don't even remember watching this with Emily. So it was probably 30 years since I've seen this movie.
That's better than me. It's probably been 40 years for me.
Wow. Well, this isn't a competition.
Oh, my God.
My God is right. But what's interesting is when we're talking about then a little bit, I remember being very sad also. And I remember I didn't connect with Charlotte as much as I did with Wilbur. I felt more like a Wilbur.
Interesting.
And I didn't really remember that until I was rewatching it. I think with Charlotte, yes, she was very calm and obviously a good friend, but she really spoke to me more like a mom figure. So I don't think I connected with her as a peer so much. More like someone who's giving advice.
Like an oracle. Or like
oracle,
a therapist.
A therapist. Yes,
Okay.
more like a therapist.
Yeah.
Because she was very calm and all-knowing. And one of those, an all-knowing oracle, if you will.
She was bossy. And she was in control, and she had a lot of power for a spider.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she wasn't really my favorite character growing up.
Yeah.
But this time around, I feel like she is badass.
Yeah.
And she actually was my favorite character this time around as a middle-aged lens viewing of this. I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see it from an adult's point of view as opposed to a child's point of view.
Yes.
What about you? Before I could go on and on.
Yeah.
So I'll stop. And what was your general feeling about it?
It's fascinating how much I don't want to say flat right off the bat if I liked it or not necessarily. I think I'm still kind of torn about it. When you talked about things that you forgot, I fucking forgot this was a musical. I didn't remember. I hate to say this, and this is to the detriment I think of this show or this movie. I didn't remember the songs. I really didn't. I was like, I don't remember these songs at all. And which I think is not a great compliment to the movie, as much as fondly as I remembered it. But the songs were by the Sherman Brothers, who did Mary Poppins, The Jungle Book, and your favorite, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh boy. I just got a pit in my stomach.
I know you hate that movie.
I just got a pit in my stomach.
But so in terms of that's a very general note that I didn't remember a single damn song, even though I've seen it several times as a child. But then my next note is holy crap! This movie does not hold back on death and killing things.
Yes. And
it's funny to be an adult because I'm like, how the hell did I process all this death as a kid?
You just accepted it.
You accepted it. Did I even know, or did I really understand what this meant?
Well, what's interesting that you say that is they actually recommend this movie, and, probably the movie more than the book, in teaching children about death.
Wow.
So when you have a child who's lost a parent or somebody, this is one of those movies that they recommend watching with your child because they feel like, I guess they would be therapists or psychiatrists or something. They feel that it is a great representation of the different emotions that you go through. And Charlotte is probably the best voice in terms of the, almost like that circle of life sort of feeling. And I wrote down a couple of things about why it's great to teach for teaching your children about death. It's says that Charlotte makes death not so scary, for one thing. She treats death respectfully and talks about the circle of life. And there's a whole song about how you are part of Earth.
Yes,
right?
I like that
Mother
one.
Earth
I like that one.
And
Father
Time. Yeah. And how it's just all this she dies, becomes part of the earth and all that sort of thing. She makes, friendships and service the center of her life. And in one of the things it said, in one of her songs, I think it says, by helping you, it wasn't part of the song, but she says, by helping you, perhaps I was trying to live up to my life or something like that. So it's like creating a purpose of her life. There's a lot of that stuff. She's very calm. She's not afraid of death. She's very calm about it, and when it gets close to it, she's very accepting of it, and she's grateful for the life that she had, and she accepts it peacefully. There's a lot about it that's really, really great, which, of course, Wilbur, the whole point of Charlotte is to save Wilbur's life because they're going to slaughter him.
Yeah.
He was born a runt. In the very first scene in this movie is Fern comes out and finds out that the father is going to kill the runt because it's going to die anyway.
Well, and runts cause a lot of problems in the farm.
Yes.
It's just like that, for he didn't specify.
Yes. No, he didn't specify.
But he said they're more trouble than they're worth.
No, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so she comes out to save. She comes running out,
Yeah.
and what a scene. He has Wilbur in one hand and a big old axe in the other. Like you said, they don't hold back.
Yeah.
Like, this is life on the farm, Fern.
Yeah.
They're going to kill this damn pig.
Yeah.
And then, so she gets to keep, it's cute, blah, 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 and all this happens. And then he's like, got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of it. You had your fun raising your pig. Now we got to get rid of it. It's like all these crazy emotions of loss. And it's really an interesting movie to watch as an adult.
It is so, I'm going to be honest, I was so pissed off at the father. Like, when he ever went back on his promise and what he said, and he's like, it's like, he went back on his word.
Yeah.
He's like, you can raise it. Of course, that's exactly what Fern wants. I mean, so he's kind of a pushover. It's like, as punishment, Fern, I have half a mind to make you raise it. It's like, bitch, that's what she wants to do. It's what she wants to do. Let her raise it.
Well,
and it's so weird.
I wrote, Papa, doom and gloom strikes again. Quote, you've had your fun raising a pig, but he has to go. Like, did you write the same
I wrote,
thing?
Here we go again.
Here we go. Doom and gloom strikes again. Like, every time he shows up, it's just, oh my.
I wrote, here we go again, but I also wrote, Fern's a bit dramatic. I wrote, has she never been on a farm before?
Right, no, seriously.
And also, where does she think bacon comes from? But it's like, I was like, really? But then he's like, Daddy, can I keep the pig? Don't kill it. And then I wrote, to teach her a lesson. He's like, I should have you raise it. It's like, that's exactly what she wants. Fern wins. And then they all over again, Daddy, no! And then, or Papa, no. And then, it's funny, the dad's relationship with these animals, because a frog, in a moment of comedic relief, gives salmonella to every inch of that dining table, and the dad just laughs. He's just fine with it.
By the way, speaking of that scene, did you happen to notice who was the voice of her brother?
Danny Bonaduce.
How funny! I never knew that.
Well, also,
lots of good voices, great voices.
Debbie Reynolds is Charlotte.
Reynolds is Charlotte. Paullynde is Templeton. Agnesmoorehead is the goose. Yeah. Who Agnesmoorehead and Paullynde actually starred together in Bewitched, which was cute.
And also, one of the people is the male adult lead from the Partridge Family, and then with Danny Bonaduce.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
What was his name? Dave? Was it David something?
I forget.
I think David was his name on the show.
But then, interesting thing about Debbie Reynolds, she wanted this role so bad when she found out they were adapting it. She said she would do it for free.
Imagine that.
It's unclear if she did it for free. She probably wouldn't be allowed to, but she wanted that so badly. She loved the story anyway, and she really wanted to be Charlotte. And now, look, I mean, it's like
she was amazing. She was a perfect.
She's amazing in this.
Did you read that Tony Randall was the original?
Yes,
Templeton?
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that crazy, right?
And
but then he was
flat.
He was too sophisticated.
Yes,
I guess is what they were saying. He was too sophisticated for the rat, which I get.
But they also said a lot of his line readings were flat.
Interesting.
Because he did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right.
I'm glad they chose Paul. He was amazing. He was so
God.
funny. I did remember the song, so I forgot. So here's what happened with me. I put it on, and then as soon as the song started, there must be something more to it. Yeah. I forgot it was a musical until she started singing that song, and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. And I remembered all the words to all the songs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I don't know why
almost all the fun. No, the Mother Earth, Father Time one was way over my head back then. I was like, time for a pee break. I think that was pretty boring for me.
That's probably my favorite song, being 50.
It's beautiful now. I love that song now.
How special are we for just a moment to be part of life's eternal rhyme?
I know. It's amazing.
It's like everyone has a purpose.
Yeah.
You're here for a short amount of time. You are lucky. You're lucky to live this life.
Absolutely.
And
that was like her whole spiel.
Yeah.
I mean, even like killing things to eat. Like when she'd catch, the flies in her web. She's like, well, Wilbur, how do you think I'm going to live? Like this is, she's so commonsensical about death. And I think that's why it's so such a powerful message for children.
Yeah, and I also like that Wilbur has vasovagal reactions.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Very relatable. So I have
Very relatable.
vasovagal reactions to things, and I kept laughing every time it happened. I was like, "That's real." It's like, "Oh, blood," and he thinks about the blood, and he starts to faint. He thinks about this, and he starts to faint. And it's like, and it's so funny, and it's done actually pretty authentically to fainting. Yes. And I like that. I didn't remember that he was so like fainty.
Yes, I agree.
The one, a big negative, my first real negative here, besides like not remembering the songs, I really struggled with Wilbur's voice. Did you or no?
It was a bit much. I agree. This is what I didn't like about Wilbur. He was very whiny. He was always nervous and whiny, and I don't know, he was just always like nervous and needing help, and like he wasn't a very strong character at all.
Yeah.
But he was the most cartoony voice out of all of them. All the other animals have people voices.
Yeah.
And with him, it was very much like a cartoony voice. And I think that kind of bothered me.
I respectfully disagree because
really?
because I didn't like it, but that's not why. Another little issue I had is that I didn't really like how like agnesmoorehead's character, the goose, would like repeat
stuttering was
things.
A bit much.
Yeah. And it was like, and there were a couple of other characters that I felt like we're trying to do animal voices, and that doesn't happen.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, like I think there was like the horse,
hear that at all. I guess
like the horse, the ram. There were a couple of the animals that I'm like, oh, it wasn't consistent, and I don't feel like they would never do that nowadays. They always have these big name voices, and they certainly do not try and sound more like the animal they're being. It's just their voice.
They're just their voice. Yeah.
In
fact,
great.
I would argue that they probably hire the actor before they even do the animation, because many times it's the actor and it looks like the actor. Like the cartoon looks like the actor.
Yeah. I wrote, I think it's more interesting. Oh my god. I also have this other vision in my head, which I would have loved to have seen an attempt where Wilbur can't speak.
Yes.
Like that would have been interesting.
It was almost like almost like a Winter Warlock trying to walk, right? There was a little bit of a struggle there, right?
Yeah.
With him, it was like, just try. Oh, I can talk, and then he starts singing
He bursts into song,
and I love that song.
Yeah.
I remember, as a child, my sister and I would make fun of the song because it was like, I can talk. But I love the lyrics are so good.
Yeah.
This one says, "Isn't it great that I articulate? Isn't it grand that you can understand?" It's just really fun little lyrics, and I remember singing that song as a child.
I did find it a little peculiar that when he can talk, the first thing he does is bust into a musical number instead of saying, "Can you please help me find my friend Fern?"
Yeah, he didn't
later,
was kicked to the curb.
Later, he does say,
I miss Fern.
I miss Fern, yeah.
Well, he's whining. Like, all he did was whine.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's true.
Yeah. Super downer.
I don't know what was going on with me, but I thought Lurvy, the blonde guy, was kind of cute for a cartoon character.
My goodness. Down, boy.
I wrote, he's hot, but
he was cute.
I wrote, he's hot, but he kind of sounds like Uncle Jesse from the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, his voice did not match his thing at all. Okay, let's see. All of Fern, we didn't talk about Fern for a bit. She may have been my least favorite character.
Yeah, she was not great.
The narrator at one point says, all of the animals trusted Fern because she was quiet and friendly.
Was she though?
And I wrote, quiet? God. She never shut up. She screamed all the time, Papa, Papa, Papa. But it was so, and I laughed out loud, this big emotional separation of Fern and Wilbur. Mm-hmm. And only later you find out that she lives up the hill.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
she
right
walked
down
there.
the street every day.
She walked there every day. It's like, wait, what?
So now you just don't have to take care of him. You can still visit him.
Right.
You just don't
visit
have
him.
to take care
Visit
of
him every day, Fern.
So dumb.
I don't know if that was necessary.
What was I just going to say about Fern? Oh, what's interesting about Fern, and this goes back to when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just get this feeling about them. You just don't like them for a reason. I will tell you, I don't think I ever forgave her for growing up and choosing Henry over Wilbur. I saw her and I was like, nope, don't like you. I remember being so pissed off at her as a child and being like, this is wrong. Because I was a child. I didn't understand
but you know what? You're
sexual urges.
My thing, Christina, it's like, Fern, how shallow can you be? Why? Because Henry doesn't wear glasses anymore, and he's been helping out on the milk farm.
All of a sudden, he has some money in his pocket.
And a little bit of a shaggy haircut, tighter T-shirt, and he doesn't have glasses anymore.
That's it.
And suddenly Fern's very interested.
What was that movie? She's All That.
Oh God! Well, it's any '80s movie for that matter.
Any '80s movie. He lost the glasses and let down his hair.
Yeah, usually that happens to the girl, right? And
so I guess they were ahead of the time.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever forgave her for dissing him. So even when she first showed up, I was like, no, I don't really like you.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Also, wait for sure. I have it somewhere in my notes. I can't find it. But waited for Charlotte to really spell it out. She's basically saying, Fern has hormones raging and blazing, Wilbur. Yep. She has one thing on her mind. She just wants
a little piece.
Yeah, one thing on her mind.
A little piece of Henry.
It's meat. It's meat, Wilbur. It's not you.
Not your meat.
It ain't bacon.
Speaking of, one of the things when he first figures out that he's going to be, killed at the farm, I think it was the goose who says, in the fall, you'll be made into smoked sausage and ham. I'm like, oh my God.
I have that same note.
But I love it. Like, there's no holds barred. Like, this is just the way it is. This is your purpose, is to be ham.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chin Up comes on, and I remember that song. Chin Up, put a little smile on your face. I can't believe you don't remember any songs.
Not a single song. I don't remember a single damn song.
I think Renee and I used to sing these songs all the time.
I do think it's a missed opportunity. That there was not. I kind of wanted a reunion with Wilbur and Fern the first time they get back together.
Yeah.
But suddenly it was just like, oh, Fern starts coming by the bar. It's like, wait, that's kind of a moment. Wilbur really missed her.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice little moment.
What was funny, actually, you just reminded me. The narration I completely forgot about. Did you remember that?
I remember the narration.
I forgot about it all completely.
I have some concerns through a middle-aged lens. Mm-hmm. Not then, certainly, but with Charlotte's strategy. I was like, is this the best strategy? First of all, it says more about Charlotte than it does about Wilbur.
Hello! This is exactly my point.
I was like, why wouldn't they capture the spider? She can spell.
She's a brilliant spider. Before we go on, I do want to say there's one thing that I thought was really cool. I think it was the Chin... Was it the Chin? No, it was another song that... It was ahead of its time, again, and we could all learn from this song.
Oh, let's hear it.
There's a song, I forget what song it was, but it says, we've got a lot in common where it really counts. What we look like doesn't count an ounce. And there was this, I think, was it Chin Up? I don't know if it was Chin Up or not. But it was a song, and I was like, this song is great.
Yeah.
This is like such a great song to teach a child. Again, like, I loved the songs. I can't believe you forgot all about them. But anyway, and she did say, talk about death again. And the circle of life. Like, that was like the whole thing, the circle of life. He was talking about eating the bugs and how mean it was, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And she says, if I didn't eat them, the bugs would get so numerous they would destroy the earth. And again, it's the circle of life. And all these things I didn't really catch
and it's also
when I was a kid.
Blunt.
Yes,
it's blunt as
very
hell. Like,
blunt.
That was something when I was a kid with Charlotte. That's why I really liked her. Like, there's something soothing about her, but honest.
Yeah, it was super honest.
We
like, this
need
is just
more
the way
of those characters.
We do. We
in
need a lot.
Today's children's specials.
Absolutely.
Like,
just
enough. Like,
we
structure.
need more of those in just everyday adult shows.
That's true.
Truly.
Yeah.
Everybody's just so afraid of, like, spelling it out.
And like hard truths, and that's how you learn. And to your earlier point, Christina, we're learning about death with this movie, that it's good for kids. It's like, it's really clear, and it's like, it uses simple words, but they're very direct.
Yes.
And it's not cold. It's not cold-blooded. It's like just truly just honest, and she's trying to help.
Yes.
And like, get ready. She's just trying to prepare people, and there's something very nice about that.
Yes.
So going back to my strategy.
Yes, you mentioned the spider. And I will say, Mrs. Zuckerman has it going on. She's got it going on. Because they're like, wow, this isn't an ordinary pig. And she's the one that says, seems to me we have no ordinary spider.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, Mrs. Zuckerman, you've got that right.
Yeah.
Why are we not capturing this spider?
I completely agree. My second reason why the strategy isn't great is because it could suggest... Did you hear that?
I did.
That was my stomach. It could suggest that Wilbur is, like, amazingly delicious. Like, it says some pig. So I could see people, I could see some moneyed people seeing this in a newspaper and being like, what's this? A smart pig? I'm going to kill him and eat him.
Yes.
Like, there are people like that in this world.
Will be
like
the smart one
this
then.
hard to find creature that they want to kill and eat.
You are what you eat.
Put its head on a plaque.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's
forever.
like, how did she know this was really going to work? And then the third reason is sarcasm. Some pig. Some pig. Like,
Some
now
pig
she's
this
like
turned out
making
to
fun
be.
of the pig.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it was an odd. I feel like many of the things that she wrote on the web were a little bit odd. Like some pig.
How about if she had written, "Don't kill this pig." Right? And wouldn't that be smarter? Like, don't kill the pig.
Yes.
Like, that is very clear.
That is clear. And she is very blunt.
Yeah. I mean,
she is very
terrific.
blunt.
Terrific. And then Wilbur's under the web. What if it's just a coincidence? What if someone captured Charlotte and put her in a jar? Like, it's like, that's the thing.
The brother wanted to do that, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right, he did. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he wanted to kill. Look at that spider.
Yeah.
This is before she made any notes or whatever. But I will say, Charlotte is an absolute badass. So we didn't talk about Templeton yet. But
my God, that's my next note.
Oh, good. So is this maybe the scene that I'm talking about?
Oh,
because
when Charlotte sets him up to be killed?
Yes! Yes!
For skipping a meeting.
She had something to say. He's like, I'm too busy, and walks away. And she's like, okay. I could totally see you doing this, by the way. This is why you love Charlotte so much.
Oh, my God.
So she has this meeting, blah, 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 blah. Everything happens. Then she says to him, oh, I see some sort of morsel of food right over there, right next to the barnyard cat.
Yeah.
He goes over to eat it. The cat almost kills him.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte, being the badass that she is, she says, perhaps next time I call a meeting, you'll see fit to attend. Oh my God. That made me love her more than anything.
What?
That
is not a good lesson.
That was fantastic.
Oh my God. You miss a meeting,
what?
Christina.
I
You
loved
miss
her.
a meeting at work and your boss tries to kill you.
Well, she could fire me.
Oh my God.
Show her some respect.
He
was
she
very
calls a
disrespectful.
meeting at the last minute.
True. But
Even
he
in
wasn't
this
doing
day and age,
anything.
we talk a lot about mental health and looking out for yourself first. Self-care. He wanted some self-care, okay? Sorry you can't go to your meeting,
He's a rat
Charlotte.
every minute of his day.
I don't
is
even
self-care.
know this pig. What makes this pig so damn special?
God.
And then she's like, well, and then her other argument is valid. If this pig dies, Templeton, you don't get any more scraps.
That's right.
Anyway, so my next note is Templeton when he goes, it says crunchy. She like finds like a piece of paper. He's like, is that good? He's like, it says crunchy. And then then later on, oh my God.
So let me tell you something about Templeton.
Please,
Love Templeton. He was always like my favorite character. I felt like he was like he should have been in it more though. Like, did you feel like he was not in it that much?
1,000. Isn't it funny what the mind does to you?
Yeah.
I thought he was like the second billing.
Absolutely.
I thought he had more screen time than Charlotte.
No.
And like he's really just a supporting
He's just a little
character.
supporting character.
But he's so memorable because he's so
very,
gross and weird and funny.
He's so good.
Then he says later on, they said tell him to struggle. They tell Wilbur to struggle in the crate because pigs don't go happily. Right. So he says, "Well, struggle if you must, but kindly remember." I wrote the whole thing down. But kindly remember, I'm hiding down here, and I don't want to be stepped on, or kicked in the face, or crushed, or bruised, or lacerated, or scarred, or biffed. Oh my God.
He's
The
so
line
good. Paullynde
readings,
is amazing.
He was amazing.
Such a great Canadian.
I did laugh. I thought it was cute when Wilbur said the words radiant or something. He's like, actually, I feel radiant. And then they were, oh great, the pig's gay too. I
wrote, Mother Earth and Father Time, so beautiful but completely lost on me as a child. Bathroom break. But in it, there is a lyric. I wrote down a lot of lyrics. I wrote, how very special are we, just a moment to be. Like, again.
Christina, did you not like it when I said it 10 minutes ago?
Did you say that?
I read it out loud. Christina, I said, how special are we for just a moment to be part of life's eternal rhyme.
Oh, I don't even think I noticed that. I'm so sorry.
Well, you're gonna notice it when you edit this episode,
and
you better don't. If you're gonna edit one,
this conversation is gonna be out of this.
No, leave it in.
I hope you enjoyed
it, so people know what I have to deal with.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think maybe
I thought I did a beautiful line reading.
I thought you were just talking about you and I. How special are we?
So I wrote, I'm not sure we needed the Smorgasbord song.
Oh my God, I wrote Smorgasbord song was fascinating to me.
Cut it out.
I loved that song. That was my favorite scene of the whole movie. The Smorgasbord. When he was at the carnival.
Okay, so here's what's funny. They remade this like in 2006. And I think Julia Roberts was Charlotte.
I'm glad I didn't see that.
So get this. At screenings, audiences complained. They said, where's Templeton's Smorgasbord song?
Yeah, it was the best part of the whole movie.
Oh my God.
Loved it.
I think because of what you were saying earlier, where the other songs are about shit, this song kind of was empty.
Well, that's why I liked it. I think as a child, I think it was great because it was just fun. All he's doing is running around eating everything. It was the best. Okay. That's what you remembered about him.
All right.
So why? It's because it has music to it. You don't like it?
Oh my God.
But it was okay for him to be running around eating without music?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't
understand how you can love Templeton but not like the song.
Through my middle-aged lens, I did not feel like I needed the song in my life.
Well, I apologize, Templeton, for Brian's utter lack of respect.
Okay. Watch out for pickpockets. Was that weird advice? It took me by surprise.
It is a little bit weird, but it seems right for the times.
Okay.
It does feel right for the times. And what's funny is I don't say that particular line, but whenever I drop Emily off, and it doesn't happen often, but the other day I actually dropped her off at like an arcade with her friend.
Mm-hmm.
A small arcade.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, you watch out. People are walking around waiting to just grab your purse and stuff. So make sure you never put that down and keep it on you, whatever. So it's the same advice.
And have fun, sweetie. Enjoy yourself.
And yes, good luck. Just relax. Just relax and have fun.
People are watching you.
People are here.
They're watching.
I told her the main goal. Some people are here. The main goal is just to steal from you.
Oh my God.
Is that bad advice? It's true though. People show up at arcades looking for kids.
1,000%. People go around just and like finger the holes of the.
Oh Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Of every single video game for the quarter that falls through the crack. They still use quarters at arcades. I'm not supposed to do that.
No, they don't use quarters anymore.
Oh.
They have a card.
Cut the shit.
It sucks.
Oh
it
my
sucks.
God. I've been to
it's a card and it just gets on the card. It's terrible.
Okay, did it bother you with Avery, the brother, Fern's brother, asking for like 7 different things? Never saying please. He never said thank you, and the father did it. The father gave him the money.
Yep, no polite.
But fine. I was like, that's a little weird. Like the father.
No manners necessary here.
Because he's a boy. But
that's exactly right.
Fern just has to deal.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Very
Avery,
sexist.
I didn't see Avery dealing with anything.
Nope.
Bullshit.
It is bullshit.
So
the prize, the first place prize, $25. First prize.
1973. I almost Googled what it would be worth today.
I'd say $250 or $500.
Are you serious?
Well, what would you think?
$25 now?
I'm saying if I had a prize pig.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry.
I mean, you can't get a tray of sausage for $25.
Oh my God. So one thing I did like about the food thing with Templeton, I loved when he pogoed on the food. That was great.
That was probably during the smorgasbord.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was during the reprise. You're right.
There you go.
I don't know what made me laugh about this when he's like, I'm back. And then he wrote, hooray for Charlotte. No, he's like, hooray. No, he goes, hooray for Charlotte. Like he was all bitchy.
Oh, my God.
Let's see. I feel like that one. Okay.
Did you, oh, so, go ahead.
Oh, the townsfolk. Someone says, we should be, this could be supernatural forces, right, making this, the webs, right? Mm-hmm. And we should be proud and grateful. And I said, I feel like these townspeople would not be thrilled by the idea of supernatural forces invading their farm.
Right?
That was weird to me.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Sorry. It's empty.
You have, brother.
A little.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think the town. It seems like a small town would be a little bit more disturbed, or at least be looking for crop circles or something.
Yeah, it's something about that. I think that whole, and I know this is the whole point of that book or the movie is like these messages saved Wilbur's life. But I think in the light of day, through my middle-aged lens, as a kid, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. As middle-aged, I think it's very problematic for a spider to be writing messages on a web. I don't think it would have shaken out the way it does in this movie.
Yes.
Who said this, Christina? We're born, we live a little, and we die. Is that Charlotte? I think that's
Charlotte.
Jesus Christ.
She's very blunt. She gets it. She knows it. It's all true. It's true stuff. But I will say, as eloquent as she is, as, she's very articulate. She knows how to spell. She knows some, pretty, 25-cent words.
Yeah.
She's poetic with the songs, everything else.
For a spider.
For a spider.
Yeah.
Well, even for
I'm kidding.
adults.
I'm kidding.
But yes, for a spider as well. Do you remember how she told Wilbur she's going to die?
It was something like, I won't be back.
She says, I'm done for, Wilbur. Really? Really?
Well, there was also bullshit in that little moment too, because she said, nothing can harm you now. I'm like, actually, this is the worst case scenario for Wilbur, because now no one can write messages for him anymore. You can't write your message. You're dead.
Right.
So now she's dead. There's going to be no more web messages, and Wilbur's going to eventually be old news and be butchered.
Well, I think because he won that, whatever, that special award.
The ribbon, Christina.
The ribbon. Which could also be used as a napkin, I suppose.
But I think that's a little... This is what I mean. My middle-aged lens, this is it's just not completely thought out on Charlotte's part. As much as she was my favorite character when I was a kid, I loved her then. I like her now, but it wasn't really considered.
So, what did you expect her to do? Not die?
What? No, Christina, what I'm saying is, I don't think she thought this through. Saving Wilbur's life.
Oh my God. She did her best.
She's assuming human nature, but she's a spider.
Look, she tried her best. What did you expect her to do? She did better than anybody else in that bar.
I told you what she should have done, right? Don't kill this pig. You kill this pig, you die. Yeah, this pig needs to live. She had all the time in the world before she died. And now she dies, and all they know is humble. He's humble.
Humble. Weird, right?
Humble.
I always thought humble was really stupid. A stupid thing to say.
Well, terrific. It's what terrific tasting. She
right?
assumed an awful lot.
There was a lot of assumptions.
She could have put Wilbur's life in danger.
She wasn't a spider, but...
What did I say?
No, I'm just saying she's just a spider.
Oh, I think she wasn't just a spider.
Yeah.
Okay, so funny enough, I wrote this note. I watched this, I guess, a little while ago. I remember that goodbye... Oh, no, not the song. I remember the goodbye scene like yesterday, but I guess I didn't, because I didn't remember that I'm done for Wilbur. But the goodbye.
But I think that was beforehand. I think that the I'm done for was basically telling him that I'm done.
Dying.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the goodbye.
Yeah. But I remember that, though, the goodbye, and how sad Wilbur was.
That was so sad. I remember, that was probably the first show I ever saw, or movie.
Charlotte!
But I I remember it being so sad. Like, I cried.
Yeah.
I'm sure I cried. And it was probably one of the first movies I've ever seen that had any kind of real sad death scene in it. I mean, I was young.
Or that like sort of marinates in that feeling.
Yes.
Because, like, say Bambi, the mother dies in the beginning.
Yes.
But, like, Charlotte, they are talking about death throughout this whole movie. They're talking about death. My last... oh, no, it's not my last note. Sorry. I just wrote, Templeton isn't gay. Because he has a girlfriend or wife and children at the end.
Brian, we all know,
What?
back in 1973, there weren't any gay animals.
That's true. You're right.
Everybody knows that.
Christina, when you're right, you're right.
They didn't start becoming gay until the 80s.
Oh my God, this made me laugh. The narrator at the end. It's not often someone comes along who's both a good friend and a good writer. Charlotte was both. I'm like, that is so weird.
It is a weird thing. That is a weird thing. You know what's weird? I remember distinctly the scene where Templeton takes Charlotte's egg sack.
Yeah.
And walks with it. For some reason, I always remembered how I was sort of fascinated by that whole thing.
Yeah.
A lot of what
Well,
Templeton
and then Wilbur takes it and hides it and protects it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that, and I like the ending with all the spiders, and they don't even stick around. They just fly off in the wind.
I wrote
and
down,
it's like,
poor Wilbur, devastated again. All these spiders come out. Hi, goodbye. Oh my God! Like,
It's like,
and he throws him. Talk about drama.
Oh, he was dramatic.
Throws himself on the ground.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't. I'm leaving. This place is full of memories.
It is a lot of lessons for
lot.
one pig to learn in 95 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Devastated again. But it was nice that the three stayed, although the task at hand for them was a bit much. All the stuff that Wilbur wanted them to write in their web.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, dude?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's child labor. Yeah.
That is, I mean, it was like, here lies the most beautiful spider, friend. And like, oh my God.
I mean,
do you have something written down? Do you know how to spell this stuff?
Right. Yeah, right. Good luck finding that on a newspaper clipping.
Seriously, right?
Yeah, they're children.
Did somebody write an obituary for her? Ooh, or maybe that was supposed to be the obituary.
Oh, to honor her.
Wowza.
How do you feel now, Christina?
I just put that together.
That's an obituary.
That was an obituary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever written an obituary? Have you written it?
I have. Well, I wrote one for my mom, but it was
If you're ever asked who don't, you will never make everyone happy. It is a fool's errand.
It's a very hard thing
Yeah.
to do because you're trying to honor a person with just mere words, and it's really hard to do.
You're trying to honor the person, and so many people are like, no, I want them to know how much I love them. Like,
yes.
Sweetie, they're not reading the newspaper. Like, it's like they're dead, they're gone, and you need to treat them. If that's how you feel, you treat them with all the love while they're alive.
Well, true, but I will say, you wrote, I don't know if it was considered an obituary, but you wrote something really beautiful for your grandmother when she died. And I remember that very, very clearly.
I don't remember that.
You were up there, you I don't know. I mean, I remember
was it just a reading?
It wasn't a reading, it was something that you wrote, because I remember you talking about how you played Scrabble with her.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Well, that was in a church, and I felt like you were, and when you're saying it out loud, I feel like you're saying it to them, right? Because they're sort of everywhere in a way. But I think like in an obituary,
obituary is more like,
it's news. It is kind of like an announcement.
Yeah.
It's not like a love letter to this person who died. It's like an acknowledgement, because, everyone has a million different circles of their existence. You have your family, you have your friends, you have your work, you have your social life, you have your hobbies and things you love. And so everyone knows you in a different way. It's really hard to capture all of that.
Right.
And so when you start getting things getting too personal, like when the family wants to contribute to an obituary, it gets really, really rough. And my note to the audience, if you're ever asked to write an obituary, respectfully decline. You will. It is a
it's a hard
errand, and I will leave it at that.
It's very hard to do. I helped write my sister's too, actually.
Yeah, it's tough though.
It is tough, but you know what? In both circumstances, I was with just my immediate family, and we kind of wrote it together. So it was more like...
Your immediate family is how many people?
Well, it's like my mom, my dad, and then I have 5 siblings.
In that moment,
so it would be that, and like the spouses and stuff didn't contribute. It was just really like me and five people.
I had grandchildren.
You don't do that.
I'm like,
no.
I can't.
That's a fool's errand.
And this was
there.
This was from one of my mom's husbands, but it's fine. So
may he rest in peace.
Okay, so a little bit of information here, some trivia. This was released on VHS in 1994. It became one of the best-selling VHS tapes of 1994.
Wow.
21 years after its release.
Wow.
We should say that Henry Gibson was the voice of Wilbur. He was very famous from Laugh-In. He was also in the Blues Brothers as the lead Nazi villain guy.
We should mention on Patreon this week. Yes, we almost forgot to mention. We are going to be writing up just a little something about our favorite children's books. So, Old Roommates, patreon.com/Old Roommates. Check it out. We're going, and maybe you can let us know what your favorite books are. Your favorite. Are there any children's books that you just remember forever, like you've just loved forever, and why?
Yeah,
it's a homework assignment for you. And you can send it. You can go to Patreon and write it in the comments, or you can email it to us, oldroommatespod@gmail.com, and let us know what your favorite children's books. Yeah, I'm curious.
How difficult was it to think of yours?
Oh, it was kind of easy.
Like instant.
Yeah.
As soon as we said it, I was like, I know mine.
Yeah.
Or knew mine.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Christina, more, less, or about the same, your love of Charlotte's Web?
So I think it was more, honestly, because I feel like I appreciated it a lot more. I appreciated Charlotte a lot more, and I loved it as a child, but I feel like I appreciated it as an adult.
Yeah.
The messages, the songs, the lyrics of the songs, the entire message of the entire movie, to me, is beautiful. It's just a beautiful little present.
Yeah.
So to me, I watched it again. I want a lot of people to watch it.
Nice. I'm going to sadly say just a tiny bit less.
Well, you're heartless. So that doesn't surprise me.
I think the songs, because I didn't remember them, and I was like, no, okay, could have lived without that, could have done without that. But I still loved the themes, the message, the voice acting, particularly paullynde and Debbie Reynolds. And I liked how blunt it was. I think there's something really refreshing about it. But I think, comparatively speaking, because I loved it so much then, I just didn't love it as much now.
Sure.
I do have a match game.
I do too.
Okay.
You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Alrighty.
Well, Christina, Charlotte's daughters must really be mad at Wilbur.
Oh, no.
Today on the spiderweb, they wrote, blank him.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, wait.
Charlotte's had 3 daughters.
Oh, my God. My first instinct, but I have another one I might want to pick.
Ding.
All right, ding. Whatever.
Christina, Charlotte's daughters must be mad at Wilbur. Today on the spiderweb, they wrote, blank him.
Eat him.
Oh, damn.
Did you write fry?
Kill.
Oh! Because my second one was like fry him.
Yeah.
Right? Like people who want like death.
I was torn between eat and kill.
Interesting. Yeah. Eat him. So that's good. I like that question. Mine is a little similar.
Oh, no.
This is funny. This has been happening a lot lately with us.
We're just so creative.
Well, not really.
Ah!
I mean, we just have the same mind, I guess.
Yes.
So, Charlotte's babies weren't quite as smart as Charlotte.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately for Wilbur, their first word that they spun in their web was blank.
Christina. So not only is it a word, it's a typo.
No, it's not a typo, but it's. I'm just saying, like,
read it again.
So Charlotte, I'll just explain it to you, okay?
Please,
I will
please.
mansplain it to you.
Wow.
That's right. Because Charlotte was so articulate.
Yeah.
And she would write, like, words that, I mean, I guess in
All right, I
hindsight,
do
was
it.
great.
I got it.
But now they're writing something. They're trying to help them, but not really because they're kind of stupid. So the word that they put in.
Oh, just one word?
Well,
okay. Oh, I'm going to do one word. I'll do one word. Ding.
Ding. All right, I'll do the question again.
Please do. It's a doozy.
Charlotte's babies weren't quite as smart as Charlotte. Unfortunately for Wilbur, the first word they spun in their web was...
Good.
Tasty.
No! Why would they do that?
Because they're stupid!
Oh, I just wrote good. Like, you're not, instead of like terrific or humble, it's like good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's a good answer, Brian.
Okay, so really quick, Charlotte's Web until recently was on Disney Plus, but it's now, as of this moment in time, it is available on Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus.
Oh, very nice.
Yep.
Very cool. So watch it. I got it at the library myself.
Nice.
And there's a lot of versions of it, I believe. There's like different like stuff. So anyway, so
Charlotte's Web.
And that's it for this episode of Old Roommates. Thank you for listening. For bonus content, please visit us at patreon.com/oldroommates.
And follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, @oldroommates. Thanks for listening. Until next time.